Welcome in the 17th episode. In today's episode, we will implement the game over pop-up. If you want to help support this channel, hit the subscribe button below this video, turn on notifications so you will not miss any future episode I release. If you remember, in the last episode we have implemented the logic to check if there is a game over in our game. So let me quickly demonstrate you. So once you fill up all of the grid with the shapes, and there is no possible way to actually place another shape on the grid, there will be a game over event triggered. So currently we have just the simple message in our console. Okay, let me try to get to that state. Okay, as you see, there is no way to place those two shapes, so we have a game over message. So today we're going to replace this message with the game over screen. So let's open the project, then let's go to the projects, scenes, and then open the game scene. Make sure you're in the game scene now, and then let's go to the canvas. And then first of all, let's right click on the canvas and then create empty. And I will call this game object to be game over popup. Game over popup. Let's right click on this game over popup again and then create empty. And I'm gonna create exactly the same object, so game over popup. So let's right click on the second game over popup and then UI image. And then let's switch to the game scene, to the scene view. And as you see, we have this image here. Let's stretch this image a bit bigger than our scene, so it's cover entire screen. Let's switch back to the game view. And then let's change the color. So click on the color. And let's change it to be black. And to change the alpha channel, so it's like a darken, a bit transparent. So however you like. I think I will leave it like that. Okay, so let's disable this. So we have our image now, so I will call this darken panel. Okay, so now let's right click on this game over again and then UI image, and this is gonna be our background. So let's go to our graphics folder, then let's go to the win-lose pop-up, and then we have a pop-up background. So grab this texture, drop it into the source image and hit the set native size. Okay, so we have our pop-up for our game over. Now let's add the button. So right click on this game over, on the second game over pop-up, UI button. I will call this button exit button, and then let's grab our close texture and drop it into this source image, hit set native size, and then we need to remove this text. So go here under the exit button, you have the text component, just select it and then hit the delete. Okay, let's move this button, the exit button, to be in this corner. So I will switch to the scene view, grab our exit button and then move it here. So now let's add another button. So right click on this game over, UI button, and then this is going to be the try again button, and then grab our try again texture and drop it into the source image, hit set native size, and then delete this text component. So highlight the text, hit delete. Okay, and then I think I will make this button a bit bigger because it's not cover entire screen. So let's change the scale for this button to be 1.2, maybe 0.5, and then 1.5. Okay, and on that it doesn't matter, but I will change it as well. Okay, and now we can just grab this button and move it down. If you hold shift while you're moving the button down, it will move on the certain axis, so on the x-axis. Okay, let's release it. I will just place it maybe a bit higher, like that. Okay, now let's right click on this game over, UI image, and it's gonna be our score box. And for the score box, I will go to the textures, to the squares, and then grab, let's say, the orange square, drop it into the source image, and then let's actually stretch it, so it's gonna be a bit wider and a bit bigger, like that. You can use any square you like, really, doesn't really matter, or you can just place just simple square texture. You don't have to use this orange one. You can use even the simple UI sprite and then change the color to be orange. I think that looks even better. Okay, so I will leave it like that. So this is gonna be the score box. Okay, and now we want to create 2 trees below this game over, because this game over pop-up will be triggered in two different events. The first one will be when you actually lose, and you have the less scores than the maximum scores you received you have last time, and then the second time will be triggered when you actually lose, but you have more score than your best score. Okay, so we're gonna create 2 different hierarchies, so we'll be able to replace it. So let's right click, create empty, and this first one will be actually whenever we have the game over. Okay, so under this game over, I will just right click image, UI image, and this is gonna be the game over writing. And then for the game over writing, let's go to the win-lose pop-up, grab our game over texture, drop it into the source image, and hit set native size. Okay, it's a bit too big, so let's change the scale to be 0.5, or maybe 0.1, and then 0.1, 0.2. I think that would be okay, 0.15. Okay, we have the game over, so I set the scale to be 0.15. And then I will just move it up, holding the shift button. So place it wherever you like. Okay, here is fine. For this one, later on we're gonna implement the loading bar, so you will be able to see the best score which you had, and then the progress bar, how much your current score is further away from your best score. But this is gonna be implemented in the later episodes. So for now, we're just gonna leave it game over writing. So as you see, if you select this game over and then you disable it, there is nothing displayed. So now let's actually select this game over and disable it. And now let's right click on this game over pop-up, then create empty, and this object will be called new best score, and then right click on this game object, UI image, and I will just call this image new best score writing. Okay, and then let's grab our new best score, drop it into the source image, set native size, and then the scale will be the same as the game over, 0.15, 0.15. Okay, maybe 0.1. I think that would be better. 0.1, 0.11. Okay, so this is the scale I'm gonna keep, and then let's move it up. Let's actually move it on the same position as our game over. So if you go to the game over writing, as you see, the Y position was 337. So I'm gonna set the same position for this. So 337. So now you have the option to actually enable new best score or enable the game over based on the event. You don't have to create another pop-up, you just can simply replace the writing. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it game over for now. Okay, so now we can actually go to the file and then save, and then file, save project. And now we have to add some scripts to our game. So first of all, let's grab our second game over pop-up object and then disable it. So as you see, when you enable it, you have the darkened background and then the pop-up. Okay, so we have the second game over deactivated. Now let's go to the scripts, go to the game, and then right click, create C# script, and I'm gonna call it the game over pop-up. Let's open the script. Let's add few public variables and remove these comments. So I'm gonna remove the comments, and then right at the top let's add public game object, and there's gonna be the game over pop-up. Then public game object, and I'm gonna call it loose pop-up. Then public game over game object, and then new best score pop-up. Okay, and then inside our start method, let's actually call the game over pop-up dot set active, and it's going to be the false. So we wanna keep it deactivated at the start of the game. Let's remove this update method because we won't need it, and then I will need to add the on-enable and on-disable function. So Ctrl-Shift-M for the shortcut, and then on-enable. I'm gonna just tick it, and then on-disable. Okay, you can type it yourself, you don't have to use the shortcut if you like. So inside those two functions, we want to subscribe to the game event. So as you remember, in the last time we have implemented the game event. So let me go to the game events, and we have added this game over pop-up, game over event. So we want to subscribe to this event now. So let's switch to the game over pop-up, and then inside this on enable, I'm gonna call game events dot game over plus equal on game over, and then I'm just gonna copy this line, paste it inside the on disable, and make sure you replace this plus with the minus. Okay, now we have to implement this on game over function. So let's copy this name. So below I'm gonna add private void on game over, and if you go to the game events, you will see that the game over is accepting the boolean parameter. So we have to add this boolean as a parameter to our function. So go back to the game over pop-up, and then on game over we'll have to accept the bool, and I'm gonna call it new best score. Okay, so inside this on game over function, let's for now call our game over pop-up dot set active to be true, game over pop-up, actually loose pop-up dot set active to be false, and then new best score pop-up dot set active to be true. We're gonna change this implementation a bit later, but for now is enough. So we have the simple implementation for our game over pop-up. Let's save everything, and now let's switch back to our grid class, and then let's go to our check if player lost function. So this is the function we have implemented in the last episodes. And then, as you remember, we have the F statement to check how many valid shapes we have. And then we have commented out our game events, the call for our game events, because there was no one to actually subscribe to this event. So I will just uncomment this game event now. Make sure you add this one in. And then I will comment this log. Okay, so instead of printing the message in the console, we're just gonna call our popup. Let's save everything. And now we can go back to our Unity and just test these changes. So, and then we have to actually select our game over popup, the one which is active, because the reason why we wanna actually check this game over popup, the active one, is that in our script we are recalling the onEnable and onDisable method. So if the game object where you attach this script is not active at the beginning, the onEnable and onDisable function will not be called. So that means this onGameOver will not be subscribed to the event. Okay, so this is only the reason why we have these two game overs pop up. So select the game over, the active one, the game over pop-up, grab our game over pop-up script and drop it into this game object. And now we have to initialize our game over pop-up. So the game over pop-up is our deactivated game over pop-up. Grab it and drop it here. Loose pop-up is our game over. Grab it and drop it here. And then new best score pop-up is our new best score. Just grab it and drop it here. Okay, make sure all of those three fields are initialized. And then let's go to the file and then save. And then file, save project. Let's press play. And let's actually test our changes. So try to get the game over. As you see, there is a small bug in our game. If we can sometimes place the same shape on two different squares, which is not really the shape of our shape. But this is because the collision mask is a bit too big. So we're gonna fix that in the later episodes, but for now we're gonna leave it. So as you see, there was game over, and then the game over pop-up has been triggered. None of these buttons are working, so let's actually quickly fix that. So let's implement this try again and then exit. So let's stop this project and then let's go to our game over pop-up, select the try again button, and then on click event we want to click this small plus. We want to grab our game over pop-up, drop it here. Then from the functions, let's select the game object, set active, and then make sure this checkbox is unchecked. Okay, so we're gonna deactivate this game over pop-up. Let's select the exit button now, and then let's go to the on click event. Just click this small plus, grab our main camera, drop it into the on click, and then let's select our main camera and first of all make sure our menu button script is attached to it. If it's not, just grab the menu button script and then drop it here. Then let's go back to the exit button and then from the functions, let's select the menu buttons, load scene, and we want to load our main menu. So make sure the scene name is correct, so main menu. Main menu. Okay, so once this is done, let's actually I'm gonna make one more change. So I'm gonna make my darken panel a bit darker, like that. Okay, so make sure the game over pop-up is deactivated. Go to the file and then save, press play. And then let's actually cause the situation again, the game over. That's fine. Okay, I still can place some shapes. So, right, we have our game over. And then we can press try again or exit. If we press try again, there is actually nothing happened here. So I think the best thing in this situation will be to actually reload our scene. So let's stop this project and let's go again to our try again button. On click events, let's press this small plus again. And then let's grab our main camera, drop it here, function, menu buttons, and then load scene. And we're gonna load the same scene. So I'm gonna load the game scene again. Game. Okay, make sure you put the right name. And now we can press play. And I think that's gonna be fine now. And then this one cannot be placed, but we can place this. Okay, let's try to press try again. As you see, everything disappeared. And we can actually trigger this game over again and just test our exit button to just make sure everything is working fine. But I think there's no problem with it, but just to be sure. Right, if we press exit, we're gonna go back to our main menu. So that's it for today. I think everything works fine. So in the next episode, we're gonna concentrate on implementing our game score. So that's it for today. If you like the series, please consider subscribing to this channel and leave a like. Any problem with the implementation, leave me a comment below this video. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again in the next episode.